ass, thick curvaceous thighs, hourglass figures, cute girls with cat ears, cute girls with spider bottoms, cute girls made of slime, sexy snipers, sexy swordsmen, sexy librarians, sexy swimmers. Did I already say boobs? Whether you're into guys, girls, or whatever the hell this thing is, anime is a medium chock full of wonderful, wonderful fan service. And you know what? I don't want any of it to go away. Hello and welcome to Anime Editorial. My name is Nino, and today we're putting on our pervert shirts, ladies and gentlemen. Something I'm tired of hearing from anime critics and fans alike is that fan service is ruining anime. You hear this in reviews of shows like Code Geass, Valvrave, and to a more extreme extent in High School of the Dead. This show's got too much fan service! I can't take it seriously! And to be perfectly honest, I think people are misdirecting their issues with it. There are many videos on the tubes that deal with this topic, but I feel like even the ones in favor of fan service feel the need to defend it and treat it like some kind of inherent negative. In my estimation, nobody has properly stated the positive aspects of fan service, and how it can be used as a tool for making a story stronger and leaving a lasting impression on the viewer. And I feel like that's both the fault of anime fans missing the point of it and not enough shows using it to great enough effect. The main point of contention when it comes to the use of fan service in anime is that it takes us out of the experience when used in an otherwise serious show. And in other news, the sky is blue, Gagokseya can pop balloons, and Lathan Crow's the sexiest man alive. What else is new? I mean, duh, if you're watching an episode of Fate Zero with its drab, washed out aesthetic and its uber serious tone, it would be pretty jarring if you saw Saber break out into a striptease before battling Lancer. But that's not exactly what I'm talking about. Fan service can be effectively used as a storytelling tool, and as a means to establish an important character trait. You know, Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop is a voluptuous seductress because she acts in an extremely sexual manner. Her sexuality is her key character quirk, and she needs it to be good at what she does, which is use said sexuality to her own monetary gain. And to a greater extent, we have anime's patron saint of sex symbolism herself, Fujiko Mino, who is basically pulling the same seductress as a means to pilfer penny shtick. But this is all pretty obvious, and I'm pretty sure people have already been able to think of many characters through which fan service has worked to establish key characteristics. Okay then, let's talk about how fan service can engage us and add some flavor to an otherwise basic story. And before my sexuality gets questioned by all of you, let me throw up a bunch of ecchi shots on screen to offset my next statement. Okay, we ready? I love me some sexy swimmer boys! So, there was this anime a few years ago about a bunch of bros who got together to do some swimming. And it was neat and all, but what we were really there for was the brilliant water animation. Yes, I'm aware I'm joking, we were there for the sexy guys. Free was a by-the-number slice of life sports anime, and in all honesty, there would have been nothing exceptional about it had the character designs been toned down. The beautifully detailed character designs of the male swimmers was a big selling point. But what made Free different from most male-targeted shows where sexuality is also a selling point was its focus on the swimming as opposed to the guys doing a bunch of non-sequitur stuff for most of the series. Yes, they do non-sequitur stuff, but only for a couple episodes. Free wasn't about the sex appeal, but the sex appeal was the icing on top. And that's something fan service can be, man. Icing. It's what draws you to the cake. Even if it's a bland and dry cake on the inside, a great big thick layer of icing can sweeten the deal. Okay, now we've talked about sexualized characters and sexuality adding some flavor. Now let's talk about sexuality being a driving narrative tool. Sexuality's driving my narrative tool, now me? This brings me to my major case study for the video. One of my favorite anime, the Monogatari series. Now, the way fan service is used in the Monogatari series is actually how I want to see more anime use fan service. It's basically a means to dip into what makes the character tick and drive the plot while at the same time offering the viewers much needed visual stimulation. Araragi, the protagonist of the series, is a pretty interesting character. He's a quirky, erratic teenager with a sick sense of humor. He has moments of deadpan comedy as he responds to multiple supernatural stimuli around him. His relationships with the other girls are what makes the series what it is. But something people seem to gloss over when discussing the show is how the entire series is placed from his point of view, except for Hana Monogatari and some select stories in season 2. The fan service in Bakemonogatari, for example, is framed from the perspective of Araragi. The show uses the male gaze to develop Araragi's relationship with the female cast. The provocative imagery and the lewd poses are all lovingly detailed because that's what Koyomi is placing his focus on. So when you see something like this happening,
ショーツとブラは柄物しか持っていないの。
This is Araragi's mind focusing on the sex appeal of the girls. It isn't a means to demean them, or even as a means to entice the viewer, even though it succeeds in doing so. It's a means to show what Araragi's mind focuses on, thus expanding on his perverted character trait. Now, one might ask, isn't that just using fanservice as a means to establish a character? And indeed, this statement is true, but the difference in this case is that it's not being used as an add-on character trait, it's being used as a way to strengthen character relations. Araragi could have easily have just said he was a pervert, or the series could have easily have made one-off perverted jokes the way other anime do. But Bakemonogatari isn't just doing this to develop Araragi. Remember, it's called fanservice for a reason. When fanservice is used the way it is in the Monogatari series, it's basically a case of the show having its cake and eating it too. It gets to make a character more human and believable, while at the same time offering some enticing sexual images for the audience to enjoy. And in my humble opinion, this is how I think more shows should handle it. Maybe if fanservice was used less as a way to say, yeah, we know this show isn't that great, but look, you don't have to notice that, just enjoy some boobage and stop thinking about it. And more as a way to strengthen the writing of the series, anime fans would find less of a reason to complain about its presence. Either way, I think it speaks volumes of shows that actually use it that way, and I personally hope that there are more anime in the future that follow the lead of Bakemonogatari in regards to fanservice. Sayonara minasan, thanks for watching.